Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out of the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and if you're watching on the YouTubes, on Jay's shirt, Nik and Ivy Brewing.
Yes.
I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski. And Jay, you got to go to Nik and Ivy, which is cool. We'll get to that in a second, but it's been kind of a sweaty week. Definitely been a rainy week. Stormy week here in the Chicagoland area. I was at my mom's house on, what was that, Thursday or Friday, whichever day there was the second set of tornadoes. I was the one in Warrenville was like half a mile from my mom's house.
Oh my God.
So that was fun. Yeah, everything's fine. But it was just one of those where we're like, okay, we should actually stay away from the windows this time.
Yeah, it's been creepy, man. The weather's been weird and I don't like it. It's
so humid.
Either totally dry drought, or it's like violent tornado weather. And there's like no in between. And now my yard, the grass is so long in my backyard, it's going to take me probably 2 hours to cut, because I'm going to go one stretch of my backyard, have to empty the bag, another stretch. And I don't like to mulch the lawn, because then I just have hay all over the place, and I hate that. So that's going to suck. Anyway, make sure you're following us on social media at I'm Fat Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. I think that's it. Right?
I think so.
We've got our Patreon page, patreon.com/I'mFatPod. We've got our merch shop, I'mFatMerch.com, now featuring tie-dyed shirts. Very exciting. We've sold a lot, man. And I got an email about it, and then I was kind of like, oh, I kind of forgot about this. And then today, before the show started, I said, maybe I should look up how to buy these. So I did. And it's very easy. You go to like the classic tees, and then you kind of scroll all the way to the end, and it will be the last option for you in the store is the tie-dye design. So they look good. People have been buying them up. And you can get them in any of our shirt designs. So just make sure you're on that default, like the classic tee thing. And then like everything at our T Public shop, you can buy whatever color you want. Scroll to the end of that list, and you'll see the tie-dye option. They look great. They look really cool, and people seem to really like them. So jump on that, or any shirt. They got the tri-blend, tank tops, whatever you're looking for, they got it. Because I don't really like to wear the big cottony shirts.
Yeah.
I like the tri-blend. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're cooler. I think they wash a little better. So check it out. I'mFatMerch.com.
All looks good.
It does all look good. Rick's got his on there. I'mFatMerch.com is a place to go for that. Oh, if you want to kick in a few bucks a month, that would be helpful. You can do that on our Patreon, which I already mentioned, or via Spotify, via the description in our shows here. Just click in our descriptions. There's a link right in there, and you can donate there. Or if you don't want to give us any money, that's cool. Just leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We greatly appreciate that. And, of course, our YouTube page, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. All right, on with the show. Yes, I did go to Nik and Ivy. Actually, I went the day after we recorded, because for the first time in forever, you and I recorded on a Saturday and not a Sunday. So Sunday, we drove Addie down to Champaign. She did ISYM, which is Illinois Summer Youth Music.
Nailed it.
Yeah, she went down there for a week for orchestra. And boy, man, we picked her up yesterday, Saturday, and got to see her concert, and it was just unreal. And I described her like she's a good violin player, a good pianist, and she's got a good, like for a junior high school, they do really well. But now she got to go to this ISYM with kids from all over the area, like the state, Missouri, all over, and it was like an all-star game. You know, so it's just a different level of orchestration and skill, and she had an ensemble solo that was just awesome.
Nice.
It was incredible. It was such a great thing for her to get down there and get away. So anyway, we dropped her off, then came back to Chicagoland,
celebrated.
Yeah. It was Yaha week in Chicago for me and Hope. But went to Nik and Ivy shortly after dropping her off in Champaign, and they had their fundraiser for the Fire Buddies, which was great. Packed house, tons of food out. All the beers were flowing, and I walk in, and there's Fred Hubner, formerly of the school.
Oh, nice.
He's just sitting at a table by himself, and he's like, "Hey, good to see you." So we sat down, talked to Fred for about 2 hours, and it was great catching up. But man, Nik and Ivy, to be there on a bustling night where people are there to support the cause and partake in the beers, of course. But man, everybody in there is happy. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody knows Paul, who's working the bar all the time. It was just a great time, and Hope got to go for the first time and loved it. So it was just a great time, and seeing Fred, just like catching up on old stuff and telling old stories and things like that. It was great. It was just kind of the perfect cherry on top of that night at Nik and Ivy. So go check them out. They're at 1026 South State Street in Lockport. Family owned and operated. Paul and Christy own the joint, and they try to produce all sorts of beers. It's not just we're going to shove as many hops as we can into this can. No, it's got something for everybody. And they had a mead, Rick, this week, an Arnold Palmer mead. Oh God. It was awesome. It was so good. And we were going through everything. Learned on the street. I made Hope try that one, the oatmeal cookie beer, and we just kind of went through everything. I think I've now tried everything Nik and Ivy has offered since they joined us.
Wow.
And one better than the other. I'm telling you, man, I've tried them all, and I can't even pick a favorite because they're all like equally great. So go check out Nik and Ivy. They've got great food in the area. That Taco Heaven is right there. We went there again. I got another burrito that I couldn't finish. It was so damn big. Hope got El Pastor tacos and loved them. And if Nik and Ivy doesn't have food, but they allow free delivery, and you can eat right there in the restaurant, in the bar. So it's awesome. So go check them out again. 1026 South State Street in Lockport. If you like beer and you like a good time and you like an awesome atmosphere with no like pretension, Nik and Ivy is the place to go. There's no snooty, craft brewery feel to it. It has a very kind of, I think the connotation towny bar has a bad connotation, but not to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Those are the kind of places.
It's welcoming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you walk in and you feel like they've known you for years. So then after that, I have a taste for something sweet. And right around the corner, 937 South Hamilton Street in Lockport, Cool Creations, an old school ice cream parlor. And they serve Sherman's ice cream, which I thought was just a Michigan thing. I got Milky Way ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the caramel ribbons in this ice cream, it was almost like more caramel than ice cream. I know I'm mixing up my caramel and caramel again.
I know. You're speaking my language, though.
Yeah, well, I was kind of like, do I want the Cookie Monster? Do I want to try cookies and cream, which is usually my go-to? And I made sure I craned my neck to see the entire selection. They probably had like 20, 25 flavors. Milky Way. And I saw how much caramel was in there. Dude, I'm telling you, it was awesome. So that's Cool Creations, 937 South Hamilton Street in Lockport. So if you're going to Nik and Ivy, go to Cool Creations or vice versa. It's great stuff all around. We had a great time in Lockport. It's kind of like the nice end to dropping off the kid and kicking off our week by ourselves.
Yes. That's I thought you were going to say kicking the kid out and having a week to ourselves. Same deal. I mean, really. It was
the first time we'd left her, and it was kind of good the way they did it. So there's this at U of I, there's this concert hall, and like they brought in all the campers and then all the parents, and then they're like, okay, time for parents to leave. And we're like, oh, okay. Like there was no, now you got a half hour to say goodbye. They're like, nope, time to leave. So it was very
bye.
Yeah. And then Addie got upset, and then I got kind of choked up. And I said to her, I go, listen, I was a kid who always left a sleepover in the middle of the night. That was me. And I go, there's going to be a time when you want to nope out of this thing and you want to come home. Don't. Just don't. Fight through it, and you're going to be so glad you did. And then sure enough, Monday night she calls and Brian and Sarah over, and we're drinking as we did most of them. And I answer the phone on FaceTime so everybody can wave, and she's like already crying. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
I had to go take care of that. But she was fine. She just was, it's normal. The first time away from home.
sure.
But she nailed it. I'll post a video of her performance somewhere. I know I put it on my Instagram, but it's excellent. It was just really special. So I'm glad she had a good time.
Nice. And like one quick thing on something like that before I get to my first thing. Having been, now mind you, I don't think it was the same thing. Well, no, because I was in high school. It was like basically like a high school equivalent of like an all area type thing. I think when I did it, it was at Waubonsie possibly.
Okay.
And it was like, it's just good context also of, if you think you're good in your area, here are other people that are good and possibly better in their area. And just everybody, it's one of those where it may sound idealistic, but at least to some people, it does work in the way of like, okay, you see what the bar is. And it's like, if nothing else, it's like, okay, maybe for a lot of these kids that haven't ever seen people been around people that are as good as them when, we're talking like, middle school level, makes everybody who actually kind of cares about it want to get better and know they have to get better to maintain their status.
Definitely. And she certainly experienced that. Like that was, and she got second chair violin, which is that's
awesome.
pretty good. Like she did,
Yes.
and I think there were maybe like somewhere between 10 and 12 violin players. She's good. Like she knows she's good, but I also think too, it's even being at a thing like that, she sees that there's a future in it. Like even if she's not a recording artist or playing a stage on Broadway in Nashville every week, playing her fiddle, which is what you call it when you're at a bar. She can teach. She can play at a wedding. She I told her, you will have employment now forever because you can play the violin and you can play the piano, and someone will hire you to play their wedding or a funeral or whatever, and you'll just name your price. Because people get married are like, oh yeah, we should get a violin. Yeah, how much is that? She'll be like $500. Like, okay, yeah, great, sure, fine. There's only 2 zeros after that. Great, you're in. So
yeah,
it was good for her, and to see that she was able to kind of hold her own too was, I think, kind of boosted her a little bit.
Of course, as it should. Like I know when I did the thing, I was playing tuba, but I'd been playing tuba for less than like 3 years at that point. Like I'd been playing woodwinds before picking up tuba. So I was like from square one. So like I was in this thing and I was like one of the last, it was like, I think it was like 5 or 6. And I was like second to last or something, but I didn't really care because I'm like, these guys have been playing brass instruments all their lives. Not me. I still made it here. But you know why? Because I'm an idiot. And that's how I thought.
There you go. Fair enough. Yeah. So I guess they've been doing this at U of I for like 74 years.
Oh, wow.
It's like the woman who was her conductor had to be maybe early 60s, and she did it.
Oh, wow.
She's like, oh yeah, I came here before. And I was like, wow, this has been going on for a while. So it was cool. And
nice.
That whole world is new to me, like the whole band and orchestra thing. But what a community. And she made so many good friends. And I was so happy for her. It was great. And all she did, you'll be proud of this. All week, she didn't tell us how the camp was or how the songs were going. Pictures of food.
Nice. Perfect.
That's all we got all week.
That's great. And it's probably like all like the dorm food too, which it's funny because I worked in the dorm summer after my freshman year at NIU, mind you. But like it's like, oh, I changed my major. I need to catch up on some gen eds. Here, let me work in the work at the residence hall for the food to get free room and board for the summer. So I ended up doing that. And that was where I learned the sign language alphabet because we had a really slow day in the dish room and I'm just like looking at it on the wall and I'm like, okay, A, B, C, D. So I started doing that. Good. Anywho, so chronologically, after you went to Nik and Ivy on Sunday, Jay has prime drink. I went on Monday to a place where it actually kind of ties into a second thing, which for those that know kind of like North Avenue and like St. Charles area, where the Geno's East used to be, which is like kitty corner to an old colonial cafe. It's like North Avenue. I believe the cross street is Tyler. The address for this place is it's now the Southern Cafe, like a breakfast and lunch spot, 1590 East Main Street in St. Charles. Dude, this food was there was a lot of it, and it was awesome. Like what? Like just the size of the pancake, and that's the joy of breakfast food. That's a side. That's a side as part of Sam's skillet that she got. She did a build your own skillet, which for her had white cheddar, green pepper, and turkey bacon. So I'll excuse the last part. Yeah.
Charlie just died somewhere.
Oh, I know. But, whatever. At least there's some form of bacon, if you want to call it that.
Sure. Oop, that's me.
Whoa. Okay. So what's on, if you're watching on YouTube, that's mine, what I had, which was, and this is the epitome of no bad words there, stuffed Cajun cheese steak biscuit. It was so good. And anybody who listens knows I'm not the biggest breakfast food person, but man, this was like, for one thing, the biscuits are huge.
Yeah, that is.
And that's only half the biscuit that you see there. That thing is cut in half and all the junk is on top of the other half.
Damn.
Like, it is ginormous. So it had, and also lemonade was great. So like here, I actually have the menu up so I can not mess it up. And yet here I am doing it anyway.
Whee!
So yeah, right. I'm so tired right now, because God forbid I was actually around people. So being around people, it's like, oh, I actually have to be on more.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
I'm not used to that anymore. Okay. So I'm just going to read the description from their menu for the stuffed Cajun cheesesteak biscuit.
God damn.
Buttermilk flaky drop biscuit stuffed with shaved ribeye, marinated in garlic butter and Cajun seasoning, grilled with green peppers, onions. It comes with mushrooms if you want. I didn't want them. Then topped with 2 eggs. It generally comes over easy. I got them scrambled. Smothered in our house-made smoky pepper jack cheese sauce atop crispy hash browns.
God damn.
Dude, I had to tap out with a few bites left just because there was so much there. And let me tell you, the way it's laid out on the plate, you can get everything in each bite, which is key, that it's not all segmented. It's just there. And it's a fantastic bite because you get a little bit of you get the hash browns, which are still crispy, even though they're kind of on the bottom, right next to the other half of the biscuit. But between the biscuit and the hash browns, you get a little bit of your textural difference. The steak was cooked really, really well. And just me, Cajun seasoning, anything like that, and really leaning into it was right there for me. So there's another location in Roselle, but if you are anywhere near St. Charles and you want a breakfast spot, the Southern Cafe also has a real cool, the inside of it is really cool. It's almost got a New Orleans-y look to it.
Okay.
So because if you think of an old Gino's East place, a lot of those are 2 stories. So there's more architectural type stuff they can do to the place. And it was fantastic. I am not much of a breakfast person, but if I knew that was what breakfast was going to be, I would be more of a breakfast person.
Now, as soon as I Googled the website to put it in my notes to add to the I'm Fat map, which I'll do,
yes,
it says home of the nasty biscuit.
Yes.
So I'm looking at that, and the nasty biscuit is a buttermilk flaky drop biscuit stuffed with our crispy southern fried chicken breast, topped with cheesy scrambled eggs, and covered in country gravy atop crispy hash browns. What the hell?
Yes. This place is a must.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's amazing.
I'm telling you, everything I'm reading on that menu, I'm oh, they thought this out. Like,
Yes.
it's not just like, here's your biscuits and gravy, here's your French toast, here's your whatever. You can get the basic versions of everything if you want, but like there's layers upon layers upon layers with all of this stuff. And those biscuits are really, really good. They're not like super formed biscuits or anything like that. They look like a natural, like country biscuit, and they're great.
Okay. Yes, I need to visit that place. That's on the list. As you were
That's gonna happen.
I texted the link to Hope to add to our we have like a little running thing of places we want to try.
Nice.
The Southern Cafe, 1590 East Main Street in St. Charles is added.
Yes, so there's also a location 511 North Roselle Road in Roselle. So if that's closer to you, there are 2 locations for it. I can only assume the quality is as good at the other location, and that quality level is high.
All right. That sounds terrific.
I wish I was right now. What?
That happened a few times while Eddie was going too. All right, what else did we do with Eddie was gone? Hope met me down in the city. She's like, I'm just bored. I got nothing to do today, so I'm just going to come to work with you. I'm like, yeah, cool. So went downtown and we went to JP Graziano, which I've talked about on this show a million times. But it was my first time going since I had my dental surgery, because Graziano sandwiches are big and their bread is a little bit like crispy. Like it's not like super soft. So with bad teeth, it was a no-go. So finally I was feeling up to eating it. So I went and got my Italian with the spicy muffaletta dressing. And then Hope got the porchetta sandwich. And porchetta. He actually, JP corrected both of us when we said porchetta. And he's like, porchetta? Like, yes, that's what we said.
Yeah, the JP stands for just pronounce it properly.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Educate me. So there's there's Hope's. That's the porchetta with the arugula. And then look at this bread. That's from Publican, which is like a very famous Chicago bakery. And she said this was the best sandwich she's had from there.
Yeah, the height on that bread is wild.
It's huge, and it was like the outside of it was crispy, but the inside of the bread was soft, so she can kind of squish it.
Okay.
She was only able to take down half of it. I was a little disappointed in her, but but the best part is we're walking out. So if you've never been to Graziano, it's very old school. You walk in, it's like an old deli, and Jim and his whole crew is like, as you walk in the door to your right, they're there preparing sandwiches. There's someone working a meat slicer. There's someone getting the ingredients. There's someone assembling the sandwiches. It's like a well-oiled machine. So you walk in, he's like, what can I get you? You shout your order at him. He writes it on a bag. Boom. You get in line, you go pay. And then when you're done, they hand you your bag and you leave. So we're walking out. He hands me my bag and then just sneaks me like this little side bag. I'm like, oh, sweet. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's like a new topping. 2 fresh homemade cannoli.
Oh, yep.
Dude, we ate those before we ate the sandwiches.
Nice. Good call.
And they had like the little crap. It's not maraschino cherry. I know that's wrong. It's like the opposite of that. It was like a dark red cherry on each of the cannoli. And it wasn't all, there was chocolate in it, but it wasn't like just totally chocolated, like with little flecks. It was like chocolate lined inside the cannoli. It was amazing. And I'm not the biggest cannoli guy, believe it or not, but holy cow, this was by far the best one I've ever had. And they sell them. You can see, like, you walk in, so it's not only is it a sandwich shop, you can also buy like sliced meat there too.
Nice.
So in that cooler, there's like a little plate that's got a bunch of cannolis like kind of pyramided on there. They're all individually wrapped. So he gave us 2 of those as we were walking out and got in the car, opened the bag. I'm like, they're cannolis. And me and Hope were like, oh, hell yeah. We were like tramping them. You know, it was incredible. So I know I've talked about Graziano on here before. I will continue to because to me, it is the best sandwich in the city. 901 West Randolph Street. They're closed on Mondays. I made that mistake before. So they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 4. So those are the hours. Make sure you get there by then. Don't plan on a late dinner. Don't plan on going on a Monday or a Sunday. But damn, it is the best sandwich in Chicago. People talk about the Mr. G, which I have been a little bit worried to try because it has like a mustard truffle oil, and I don't love mustard. So I'm afraid to order this thing and not like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also started to just take things as they come and not like adjust them and say, oh, hold this or hold that. And I've not been disappointed by it yet.
Nice.
After you talked about the cheesy gordita crunch. Last week, I went and I tested the theory with the online order and it worked. And I didn't know that had like a ranch. Is it like a ranch something in there?
Yeah. Like I didn't know that it's at least it's like a jazzed up ranch. It's not like just straight ranch.
Yeah. So had it, loved it. And then a couple weeks ago, I went to Jimmy John's. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show. They have new wraps too. They have like a jalapeno chicken wrap, and that
Greg
also
Garrett yelling about it.
Yes, I still don't get those commercials.
I don't either.
I don't get why he says Jimmy's John. I don't. It's weird.
Right.
Anyway, it has little like crispy jalapenos in it, like fried jalapenos, and then there's like a jalapeno ranch.
Yeah.
And I got it the way it came, and I loved it. So maybe I'm gonna stop being a little bitch about sauces and start eating whatever the place tells me to eat.
Nice. I got to be better about that. I got to be better about that too. And actually, kind of along with that, if we're continuing chronologically, at least me adding in next is so we're recording on Sunday night. So last night, I was with Sam over at her sister and brother-in-law's place in St. Charles, and they all love Asian food much more than I do, or at least I have to this point. So I'll at least say that. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be that jerk. That it's like, well, I don't really like this, and I'm not gonna try and find something. So like, they're like, they clearly had a taste for it in our text exchange. So I'm like, I'll find something. It's fine. And to be fair, what I've tried has been good. So we ordered, and it's actually in the same strip mall as the Southern Cafe.
Ah, convenient.
This is a Chamber Red Chinese Bistro. The address is not on my screen anymore. That's fun. 1554 East Main Street. So pretty much right there. And I ended up getting the honey chicken.
Okay.
And dude, like, I don't know what's in the honey sauce, but it's honey sauce. It just says honey sauce, battered chicken, crispy rice noodle, and pineapple. For one thing, the portions are huge.
Yes.
Like I've still got maybe not quite half of it, but like 40% of it sitting in there in the fridge waiting for tomorrow. Like that's going to happen. Just because I was out most of the day today. Otherwise, I would have had it. But like just the fry on the chicken, even with being delivered, because we got this delivered to us. So I'm like, okay, the fried chicken, who knows how the breading's going to be, especially with it, having the honey sauce already on it. Nope, still crispy, still really good. And like, I didn't eat the pineapple, but pineapple is something that I like better when it's like with stuff and you get pineapple juice on it than eating the pineapple itself. Whatever. I'm weird. And between that and the crispy noodles and then having some white rice with it too, dude, I could do that all day.
Was it like a grilled or a warm pineapple?
It was warm. It wasn't grilled, or at least it wasn't grilled.
Next time you get that, try the pineapple. I know it seems weird, but for some reason it translates really well when it's warm and when it's with food. It almost softens it, and but it remains super juicy.
Yeah.
So give it a shot with the pineapple next time. Even when you warm it up, just give it a shot. I think you might like it more than you think. So yeah, like I'm glad you're discovering that Chinese food is not all soy sauce based, because I know you said last time.
That's one thing that I just know is I don't like soy sauce.
I don't either. It is nothing but salt. Like I don't like soy sauce at all. So if that was your deterrent for Chinese food, I totally get why you don't like it. But like next time, see if they got like sweet and sour chicken. Yeah, you basically get a tub of chicken nuggets, like beautifully fried in like that kind of like golden batter, and then it is literally like a red sauce that's a little bit sweet and a little bit sour, and it's you just like pour it over or put it all on rice. It's like eating chicken nuggets.
Yeah. So if people are going to if you want to try this, one thing I'll recommend, and it depends on how your group or if it's just you eating. If it's just you or everybody wants to have their individual stuff and there's not really going to be much of a sharing situation, that's a KYP know your personnel type thing.
Yes.
Their classic lunch boxes give you, it just basically makes it more of a meal in the same size, basically for the same weight of food, as opposed to getting the giant thing of meat and then extras on the side. Now, obviously, do you. If you want all the extra and have a few meals, get it. But if you're looking for just like one meal, want to be done, like that lunchbox is a good way to get more, like a little bit of everything, as opposed to just like all that meat there in in that one size container, essentially.
Yeah, because the other way, any sort of Asian restaurant, it really gets expensive when you have to order a whole separate thing of fried rice.
Right.
Because they charge like entree prices for that usually.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but when we go to Jojo, it used to be called Joyi, now it's called Jojo Asian Bistro. We just order the entree and then a big fried rice, and that like usually 2 entrees and their large fried rice will feed the 3 of us.
Yeah.
With leftovers. And you're like, damn, that was kind of a lot. But it's when you look at all the food you get and how many meals you get out of it, it's really not that bad. So good. I am glad you are expanding your horizons.
I am mildly becoming an adult.
Hey, man, it's good. And like you said, you're not a breakfast guy. You have a girlfriend who's in her 20s, like late 20s?
No, early 30s.
Okay, well, see, Sam, you don't look that. I'm just
no. I saw this in the moment where Jay saw the stop sign.
I didn't say it. I thought Sam was in her 20s. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but it was your face. People need to go to YouTube just for this moment, like timestamp it, whatever, because the terror on Jay's face for a split second was priceless. That was so, every person has been there. I know we can speak for every guy has certainly been there of just what? I'm not saying anything. Oh God, no, this is not the path. I meant to go left. I'm going right. What is happening here? Someone stop me.
Yeah. Anyway, she looks like she's in her 20s. Yes. There you go. You better get used to brunch.
Yeah.
You're dating a white girl in her 20s or early. Get ready for all the brunch, Rick.
Oh, I know.
Get ready. So, hey, man, it's good. You're finding good stuff. Because I've been in this, aside from like the cool stuff we had this week, which is a lot, and I'm going to get to some more of it here in a second. I'm in a rut with my food, man. Like, if I'm not in the mood to cook something at home or prepare a meal, I'll like get in my car. I'm like, there's nothing even want anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I got all the essentials around me. I got Culver's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Freddy's, White Castle, like anything I want to get, I'm just kind of like,
yeah, you've got the essentials and Freddy's.
Exactly. Like, what do I even want? Why am I don't know. So I've been stocking up on lunch meat and stuff and just kind of doing that.
I get it, but I mean, that's, hey, we all go through those times. That's why I love that this podcast is not just food.
Yeah.
It's everything as part of the culture, because then we're also not just dependent on the food.
Well, this week it's about the food. I'm telling you.
This week it's about the food, 100%. But there's definitely going to be times where it's not as much about the food, and I actually love those episodes.
Yeah, me too. That's for sure. By the way, put a ton of miles on my car today this week, going to Champaign and back twice, going to the city a bunch for work and for fun. And I drove it. Put those miles on my Mazda CX-30, which I got at Mazda of Orland Park. They're located at 8910 West 159th Street in Orland Park. Give them a call, 708-444-3200. Ask for Eric Vates. I'm going to be calling him tomorrow. Nice. We got some business to discuss, and I'm probably due for an oil change considering how many damn miles I've been putting on my damn car. But I love it. I love getting in that car, and there's no better way to indicate that than after driving to and from Champaign, back to Homewood, got in my house, and an hour later said, hey, let's drive to Lockport and go get Nik and Ivy. And Hope said, okay, sounds good. And we did that, and we did it in style in our Mazda CX-30. We also have a 2015 Mazda CX-5. We're going to be Mazda customers for life because, A, They're outstanding and reliable vehicles with awesome gas mileage, and our buying experience for Mazda of Orland Park was absolutely out of this world. So go test drive a Mazda. Go talk to Eric at Mazda of Orland Park, mazdaoforlandpark.com. .com. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Speaking, the Fred.
I saw Fred, yeah.
Yep.
I guess he still sees Murph every now and again. And I said to him, I said to Fred, I go, I take pride in the fact that I still have a relationship, a cordial relationship with Murph. I feel like I'm the only person that ever worked for him that he will still talk to or acknowledge. And I feel like that's a badge of honor.
The fact that acknowledge is part of that is hilarious.
No, I will say this, like for all the years I worked with Murph and for as challenging as it was, because he is very demanding and very specific. And if you're not the right kind of producer, you're going to go insane. I learned so much working for him, and he was always cool to me. Like there were one or two moments where I thought he went too far and I let him know about it. Yeah. And then it never happened again. And I think we have like a mutual respect for each other. So I know people like to rip on him, and I do too from time to time, because it was difficult to work for him. But all in all, he did treat me pretty well. So I'll just say that. Anyway, Friday. By the way, tip for everybody on Earth. Go out on Friday night and makes your weekend longer.
True.
Yes. So Friday, working from home. We do CHGO from home on Fridays. And we've been meaning to go to Bartaco, which just opened in Wicker Park, 1635 North Damon. It is one of our favorite places. And Brian and Sarah, our friends, of course, our good friends and your friends. One of our favorite places in Nashville. Really nice. High end is probably, I think elevated is the right way to put it. Okay. Right. Tacos, Mexican food, cocktails, out of this world. So we've been really excited to go to Bartaco because we knew it just opened in Chicago. So we go, and it was excellent. But here's what I'll say. They're new, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass here. But first we sat at the bar. We put our name in. There were some seats at the bar. So got a margarita at the bar. I got the spicy margarita, which was killer. I need nothing else, by the way.
Yeah.
From a Mexican restaurant. If you can make me a good spicy margarita, I'm golden. So got that, finished our drinks just in time for our table to be ready. So we sit down, and on our table is like a QR code, and it's like scan and then order to the table. I was like, oh, well, I kind of would prefer to have like, I don't know, like look at a menu and like pick what I want. Yeah. So a server comes by and says, introduces herself, and then we say, can we order like from a menu? So she's, oh, sure. She hands us menus, and then on the menu, you got to like check how many of each thing you want, and then you hand.
Interesting.
It was kind of cool. So I think we got like between me and Hope probably 12 tacos. They're smaller, like 2 bites. Okay. And then we got esquites, which is like elotes. We got duck birria. You know what birria is? Like the dip, like the dip tacos.
Yes,
but it was made with duck. Those were great. But I got like chili lime shrimp tacos. They had a sesame sirloin. Was it sirloin? It's like a sesame steak. So Asian flavor to it a little bit. Duck and the fish tacos were killer. So it was great. All told, we all pigged out. Like, we got guacamole, bunch of drinks. It was like $130. That's not bad at all. For 4 people to eat everything they want with multiple cocktails, it was super affordable. But like, I didn't love the whole order from your table or don't. And then we had like 5 or 6 different people come up to us and help us during the meal.
Oh,
we had the initial server come to us and introduce yourselves, give us the menu. Then another guy checked on us, and we're like, oh yeah, we want to order some more drinks. Then he brought them out. Then like a totally different person brought our tacos out. A different person brought us our check. And we're kind of like, who are we supposed to talk to?
Right. I don't know that John Taffer would like the systems going on here.
It felt, I will say this. They've only been open for a couple months, if even that. And I think they were pretty understaffed because there was like a third of the restaurant that just wasn't being used. So, and they could have, because there was a wait time. Like the place was packed except for this little corridor of maybe 8 to 10 booths.
Okay.
Or rather, they weren't using. But the food was great. The drinks were great. Like the stuff that matters was great. The price was fine. And we all ate to our heart's content. And it was $130 like before tip. Perfect. Like we loved it. So that was great. If anyone connected with Bartaco is listening, like figure out the serving thing. I think the ordering from the table thing it's too nice of a place for that.
Yeah.
I want human interaction at a place like that. Especially after eating at the bar, like starting at the bar and having cocktails. The bartender was super chatty and super nice, like engaged, like asking us like, hey, how spicy do you want this? Like, do you want tahini? Do you want salt? Nothing. It was a very like interactive experience with the bartender. And then we go sit and we have like 5 or 6 different, not super committed to us servers.
Yeah.
So that was my one complaint, but the food was terrific and we loved it. So then after that, Brian and Sarah are like, let's go to a tiki bar. And I said, I've never been to a tiki bar before because I'm diabetic. And I would feel like that would probably not be the greatest thing for me. But we went to 3 Dots and a Dash, which is downtown, 435 North Clark Street. I'm assuming you've never been here?
No.
Okay. First of all, if you want to take Sam on a cool date that you not see coming, this is it. So,
well, spoiler alert, she listens to the podcast, so she'll see it coming.
Okay, but still, it's fast forward 5 minutes.
Right.
So you're downtown, you're walking through, and it's like down an alley. And then there's just this like door that's painted. You open this door, and then you go downstairs, and it's like tropical, and like it's almost like being at Disney. There's like a scent blown in to the hallway to make it feel like, and you go down this like bustling tiki bar. And I had to drive, so I only had one drink.
Yeah.
But holy crap, I got the sample like everybody's drink, and it was so damn good. Here's a picture of me enjoying.
Sassy Jay.
I know. I was unhappy with that photo being taken of me, but whatever. But it was so good. And if you go to their website, like they have like a constant kind of rotating, menu of drinks, and they've got their classics too. But I'm trying to find
you for getting the pinky down by the time they took the picture too.
Oh no, I had the pinky up. That's there's no doubt about that. But yeah, like everything they had was so good, and they're all like very like creatively made. You know what I mean? Like it's different concoctions. Like they had a thing called the shots to puss that is literally like arms coming out of a like a bowl with what do you call it? Dry ice. Here, I can
okay.
Screen for you.
So there's flair with the drinks too.
Oh, absolutely. So there's the shots to puss, and so like that is a smoking bowl, and then each of these arms is holding a different shot. There's a sippopotamus.
We really did do that quite a few times while Daddy was gone.
Yes. the zombie, that's like kind of their flagship drink, but these are like all the shareables, right? Like there's one in the concho, it's $100, but it serves 6 people. But boy, it was just I'm trying to find here we go. Okay, the legacy drink. So you're typical, like the banana daiquiri is there.
Okay.
The one I had was
the Poblano Escobar is a great name.
You have great names. Saturn X Negroni, Aloha Felicia is one of the ones. I think Sarah got that one. Is cocoa nib infused Caribbean rum blended with coconut, pineapple, and lime. The one I got is the Vibe Patrol. Good vibes, babe. It's Blanco Tequila, Amaro, Montenegro, passion fruit, lime, and pineapple. It was
Does it have a bucket hat on it?
No, that is
okay.
No, that is a flower. Hope got this strawberry jungle bird, which is a 12-year aged Jamaican rum, overproof Jamaican rum, strawberry macerated Italian red bitter. I don't know. LBV port, lime, and pineapple. And then Brian got the painkiller, which I think was my favorite. Caribbean rum blend, tangerine, pineapple, and coconut. But if you just go through this, I mean, it is such a cool place. I almost felt like not cool enough to be there.
Fair.
And this place is way too hip for me.
Yeah.
So that was great. And then finished that up, drove home because we had to go get Addie the next morning, pick up Addie at U of I just to tie a bow on the week here.
Mm-hmm.
Addie is hangry. I'm sure you've seen the TikTok this week of the girls like, I worked 10 hours. All I want is Wingstop.
Yep.
Yes. So that was,
by the way, same.
Yes. So Addie wants Noodles and Company.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, okay, whatever. Haven't had in a while, but it's fine. So Addie, I texted you this, but we're gonna play a game with our listeners. Okay, it's a play along at home game. I'm gonna tell you what we ordered, and I want you in your car or on your run or whatever you're doing, listening to this podcast.
Run.
There's people that listen to us that run. It's ridiculous. I want you to just play the pricing game with me. We're gonna play the Price is Right.
Nice. So you got to go. Don't go over.
Yes, exactly. Which you probably won't. I got chicken pad thai.
Okay.
Which is like, a decent portion.
Sure.
With a chicken breast on it, and a fountain drink.
Okay.
Addie got the buffalo mac and cheese.
Nice. I love their. I do like their buffalo mac and cheese.
Yeah. So she got that same thing, fountain drink. Hope got like Japanese something noodles and a fountain drink. So think about that. So three noodle dishes from a fast food restaurant and 3 fountain drinks in Champaign, Illinois. We're not in Chicago. We're not in Manhattan. We're in Champaign, Urbana.
Maybe Manhattan, Kansas.
Yes. Okay. So lock your answers in now.
Okay.
The total for this meal was $49.
That's not great. The funny thing is when you initially asked me, I didn't even think about the fact this was in Champaign and not in the burbs, because like every once in a while I'll be like, yeah, I'll get noodles, I want something basic. I want to know what I'm getting. I'll get that. So knowing that it's not great.
40. So he's like, do you want your receipt? I go, no. And I go,
depressing.
Did he say 49 or you say 29? Because he almost like sheepishly was like, that'll be $4. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Like, just charge it. It's been all week.
Yep.
I've been doing this, so whatever. And I'm like, I think he said 49. So I went back. I go, can you print the receipt again? He's like, yeah, I can do that. So he prints it out, gives it to me. And I take the receipt. I look at the receipt and I look at the menu. I look at the receipt. I look at the menu.
Yeah.
And it's like not adding up because each bowl is like 12.
Yeah.
So there's $36.
Sure.
Where's the other 13 coming from?
The fountain drinks, though.
The drinks were $3 each.
And here's the kicker, which is like easily the worst thing that Noodles and Company does. Paper straws.
I was livid. After paying $50 for food, I got to eat out of I got to drink out of a paper straw.
There's nothing worse than you wanting something to stay firm in your mouth, and then the second it gets there, it just wilts on you. What?
I'm just gonna let it hang. Just gonna
That's
let
the
it
point.
hang there in ether.
That's the point. Right. hopefully it's able to stay
What, you don't want
there, but it will wilt if it's a paper straw.
So paper straws are bad.
Yes.
Granted, right? Because they stick to your tongue. They're a weird texture. They fall apart quickly. The thing I hate about them the most is that you leave food stains on your straw and it makes you look like a slob. Like if you eat something with any kind of color to it, as soon as you take a drink, there's gonna be like a stain from that food on your. I don't like that. Makes me feel like a loser.
I actually hadn't even thought about that. Oh, well, Jay, you don't need a straw to feel like a loser.
Thank you. You're right about that.
Yes.
But if you want to feel like a winner and not pay $49 for some basic ass shitty food, go to Frato's Culinary Kitchen because it's less expensive than that and it's 50 times better. You heard me, Noodles and Company. Suck it. 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Fredo'sPizza.com. I'm sorry. I am Clint Eastwood over this shit. Fredo'sBakery.com. At Fredo's Pizza on Instagram. That is $49 for some freaking noodles. Anyway, you won't pay that.
Barkish over here throwing his pen.
Seriously, you won't pay anywhere near that much for anything at Frato's. I promise you. I promise you that. Go get the I'm Fat burger, the I'm Fat grilled cheese, the I'm Fat pizza. Get the giant mozzarella sticks, the Cajun bites. Get a burger. Get a hot dog. Get whatever you want. I promise you, it's going to be way better and way cheaper than anything in Noodles and Company. That's a damn I'm Fat podcast guarantee. And I promise you're going to absolutely love it. Listen up now, too. Do you have an anniversary coming? Do you have a mother's birthday or father's birthday or someone you're close to that needs a gift? Thoughtful, delicious, Fredo'sBakery.com. Get the cookies, get the brownies. Everything there is absolutely great. Rick and I still say the best cookies we've had are from Frato's. Not Crumble, not Insomnia. Frato's has the best cookies in Chicagoland, possibly the world, and their brownies are to die for too. That's Fredo'sBakery.com. But for the Fredo'sPizza.com, you want to save 10% on your order every time you go there. You can use the promo code I'm Fat for your online orders, and you'll save 10% at Fredo'sPizza.com. Get out there, do it. It's great, great stuff.
All right, I got one more thing here. Earlier today, Sunday, I was at a place that anyone who has been to any Score events or has ever worked at the Score knows very, very well.
Yes.
I was at Real Time Sports in Elk Grove Village. And the sad part is, of all the things in life that I can't remember, I still remember the address to Real Time Sports without looking it up. Why? Because my brain is stupid. It doesn't remember important things, but I can remember 1120 West Devon. So 1120 West Devon in Elk Grove Village. I was there for any of those that are nerds like me in the fantasy football community. The Scott Fish Bowl was having the live draft, the live Chicago draft at Real Time. And for one thing, it was an absolute blast. Got to see, you got to see Fred at Nik and Ivy. I got to see our old friend that maybe a lot of people don't know, but one of the promotions and then marketing people when we were at the Score, Ryan Williams, who also does a lot of great fantasy work for FanDuel, fantasy and betting work. So he's someone you should be following. Find him on all the social medias. And but still, just so here's the layout is we have 4 drafts going on in their 2 private rooms. So a lot of people that seem like they should be P1s to the podcast in there among the group. Yes. And everybody has their laptops. There's buckets of beer everywhere. There's nowhere for any of this food to go, but I was hungry enough where I'm like, I can't wait anymore. So their food, I would always consider, and this falls into form as well. Good, not knock your socks off.
Right.
So I was like, fine, I'm drafting. I don't need an otherworldly food experience because honestly, it would also probably distract me from what I was trying to do in terms of drafting an average fantasy football team. But I just got the sliders. But what's nice about their sliders is all the different varieties you can get.
Yeah, they got a lot.
In one order, you get 4 sliders. So I got 2 cheeseburger, which just came with ketchup, mustard, pickle. Cool. A chicken parm slider.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy. That was good.
On it?
It did.
Nice.
And then a buffalo chicken slider. So 4 sliders, really good, and an F ton of tots. She's like, oh, do you want sweet potato fries, regular fries? We got tots. I was like, tots.
Always tots.
Tots.
Yes.
Always tots. Tots are delicious. Also, very high floor item. So the tots provided the nice floor, little bit of ceiling with those sliders, but also a nice high floor item. I was very sad. I wolfed those suckers down. They were really, really good. Just if you're there, let's say you're there to watch a game. You don't necessarily want a full meal. Maybe you're having a drink at the bar, whatever. Those sliders are a great option. And just so many tots that it came with. It's essentially okay, here's a big plate. here's 4 sliders. Let's dump the thing of tots until it's full. And that's pretty much what they do.
That works.
So especially in that type of setting where, like, you know, you're doing other stuff, it's not your sole focus. It was a really good meal, and like real time is so good for events, with whether it's those private rooms or the fact that like they have a bunch of different areas segmented off to where if you have like a birthday party or whatever you're celebrating, it's a great spot to be able to do that at. So yeah, real time, always good. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows where it is, like 1120 West Devon. Like, it's right off of the Elgin O'Hare.
Mhm.
So it's always good. Like, you always know what you're getting. You're getting TVs, you're getting the beers that you want, and you're getting really good food. So
yeah, there's a reason every important score event is held there, because they do a great job at accommodating. The service is wonderful. The food's good. You know, like you said, it's not like, oh my God, world changing, but everything you get there is good.
Yes.
Which is a nice added bonus. It's a good thing to have when you have a restaurant.
Yes, absolutely. So also, just like, check out, if you're a fantasy football person at all, hit at the old hashtag SFB13. It's Scott Fishbowl 13. And it's a fun thing that goes on, and it's like the fantasy football community essentially doing one big league together to help raise money for charity. So it's really cool that this past week has been the biggest week for live drafts, and some of these slow drafts, the offline drafts or online drafts, I should say, have started as well and are pretty close to completion. So yeah, if you're a fantasy football person, it's a good thing to, if nothing else, keep an eye on, and there's always ways to win seats in it for next year.
Sweet. That sounds great. One more little thing I wanted to mention, Joey's Red Hots, which I've mentioned here before. There's one in Mount Greenwood. There's a whole bunch all over the place, but we wanted to go out to Burkott's in Mokina today because they've always got great specials on meat. Like to get, we were looking for ribs. We ended up not getting ribs because they weren't on sale, but we got a bunch of chicken thighs that we air fried. Different story for a different day. But we stopped at Joey's Red Hots in New Lenox, 217 East Maple. And I've been to the one in Mount Greenwood. I've driven past other ones. I think this might be the biggest of them. Their menu had literally everything. Like your basic burgers and dogs, corn dogs, pizza puff, all those things. The Italian beefs, all that kind of stuff. They had a full Mexican menu, which was also like not just like steak or chicken. They had some lengua, which is tongue, like authentic Mexican things. They had an entire cooler full of gelato, probably 16 flavors at least of gelato, maybe 20 flavors of gelato. Pizza by the slice, like breaded steak sandwiches, ribs. It was like, wow. Yeah, it was like patio level menu. But not as like, I don't know. Patio has like this weird, I can't really define patio.
No, I guess I think of it as barbecue first.
Yeah, but it's not fast food.
No.
But it's also, they do have a drive-through, and like, I don't know. I think it's like,
I would call it more fast casual with a drive-through than fast food.
Yeah, so I would say that Joey's probably still falls in the fast food category. Like, imagine like Pops if everything was like turned up 10 degrees. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and really big with a lot of tables, and it was not like crazy great. I got a burger. Hope got a couple slices of pizza. Addie got a hot dog, and they were all great. Everything was really, really good, what you'd expect. But I was just blown away by the size of the menu. Like, we walked in and I was like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, it took me
I thought that was wallpaper. That's the menu. Yeah,
the menu was extensive and really, really good. So I don't know if all Joey's are like that. I know the Mount Greenwood one is not. It's a lot smaller. It's more like just kind of the basics. But the one in New Lenox, 217 East Maple, just a massive menu. So Joey's Red Hots, check it out. It was good. I enjoyed it. Nice. All right. Has the time come, Rick, to ask the Fats?
Oh, we are way past time.
All right.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fat is brought to you by our buddy, Charlie the Bacon Guy. And here he is with this week's Bacon Report.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have maple pepper, rosemary, 6 pepper, jalapeno garlic, chili lime, and a couple French toast left. I'll be making a bigger batch of French toast, and it'll be ready by the end of the month, if not the first week in August. Bacon jams are the original, the bourbon, couple cherry jalapeno left, and chorizo bacon jam is ready to go. As always, get your Charlie the Bacon Guy merch, t-shirts, hats, beanies, magnets, buttons, stickers, coffee mugs. I think the coffee tastes much better out of a Charlie the Bacon Guy coffee mug, but I'm biased. We will be out of town starting Friday, the 21st, for about a week. So if you want your orders for this week, get them in quickly, and I'll make sure it happens to get to your door before I leave. If not, keep sending us orders, and I'll keep getting them ready to go. Special thanks to the CHGO sports team for having me in last week. It was a lot of fun, and really good to see how the bacon gets made. Anyway, for the Bacon Report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Well, that's an energetic Charlie.
Oh, he was excited. He brought us a bunch of bacon at CHGO. It was awesome. I got to try the French toast bacon.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure what to expect. I know that's just a picture of bacon. But that is a French toast bacon, and it was awesome. Awesome. And then next to that, you could see the giant bowl of the chorizo bacon jam, which he kind of reformulated because he said the first time he made it was a little too salty and too greasy. So he kind of went back to the drawing board on it and perfected it. So that giant tub of chorizo bacon jam was completely gone by the end of the day at CHGO. All the bacon was gone. It was just terrific. He brought the jardiniere, the ranch, and the French toast bacon, and people were just, I know CHGO is producing some videos of everybody's reaction and reviews, and you can see how much Charlie's bacon is loved because it's just awesome.
Nice.
So order it, charliethebaconguy@gmail.com, Charlie the Bacon Guy on Instagram, or at CZ the Bacon Guy on Twitter. All right, if you want to leave us a voicemail, very easy to do, 708-858-3314. That is the number for the Fat Phone. We've got a pair of voicemails today. Let's get started.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Tony from the south northwest suburbs. I just finished listening to this week's episode. Jay, you have to get out of the South more. You talk a lot about going to the softball games up in Rosemont. Paradise Pup is literally 3 miles away, about 8 minutes, a little bit north on River Road. That's where Des Plaines is, just north of Rosemont. Enjoy your burger.
All right. Paradise Pup it is. But can we?
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Tony from the south northwest suburbs.
South northwest.
Yeah, the south northwest suburbs.
I guess that's just the western burbs.
Yes, pretty much.
The south north, it's just right in the middle.
Right.
So just right down 290, I'm guessing.
Yeah, pretty much. If your dick was getting kicked in by the weather this week, that's where he was.
Yes.
The western burbs.
Maybe he was blown south. Anyway, all right, noted. Paradise Pup. Next time I go to Athletes Unlimited, which should be very, very soon because the championship season is starting, I will go to Paradise Pup. No, not that.
Hey,
Right.
boys, this is Bobby D calling, and I wanted to add your hot dog at home preparation suggestions. And what I've got here is the air fryer. Use an air fryer on a hot dog for about 7 minutes, maybe 5. Check it after 5, especially the natural casing hot dogs, such as like the Frankfurter from Reams Market out in Melbourne. Most markets have natural casing hot dogs. It's outstanding, but a regular hot dog would probably work just fine too. I haven't tried it, but yeah, give it a go. The air fryer for your hot dog makes it nice and crispy on the outside, hot and juicy on the inside. Thank you.
All right. That's a good
Air
idea.
fryer is good for everything.
Dude, I freaking love the air fryer. And this week, we discovered at Costco, by the way. Maybe you've never had these. You're not a big breakfast person, so probably not. But Starbucks has these little egg bites. They're like, silver dollar size egg bites.
Okay.
And they're just like Gruyere cheese and bacon and egg. And they're in these little like half domes that are like silver dollar size. They sell them at Costco now. They're in like sous vide bags. So just rip those open, put them in the air fryer for like 7-8 minutes, and they're perfect. So if you like those egg bites at Starbucks, go to Costco and get them there. They are just like getting them from Starbucks. Actually, I would say even a little bit better because you're air frying, and they're great. So there's a little pro tip for you. Yeah.
I have not had those because I'm not a breakfast person pretty much. And also it's probably good for me that I don't get to Costco because I mean, let's be honest, like I don't have the largest selection of things that I eat, but the things that I eat plenty of them. So if I was able to get said things in larger quantities, it'd be problematic.
I don't know if that's worth it for you to have a Costco membership.
No, not for just me.
Even as like a family of 3, we don't I don't know. We don't use it as often as I wish we would. Not that we're super. I did realize the one in the South Loop is very close to me, so I can just stop on my way home from work and just run in real quick if I need something. But I don't know, like how often do I need 75 ding dongs? Like, you'd be surprised. No, what I tried today though when we went was I got the like the Kirkland, which is their brand of just burgers, like 3rd pound burger patties, because I knew that Brian and Sarah and their kids were coming over and I was going to throw some on the grill. Just cooked them from frozen. They were great. They're just very, very simple. Nice. They're not overly big. They cook up real fast. So those were really good. And I did find out too that they sell the hot dogs they sell at Costco. Yeah. You can buy a big pack of those. So next time I'm there, I'm going to get those and grill those up because those will be good. Okay. Too.
Another reason I don't go to Costco, I have to carry things up myself. And while there's an elevator in the building, if I have any skill at this point in time, which if you ask prospective employers, there's not many of those, but if I have a skill, it is being able to carry as many groceries as I want up to my unit in my building in one trip. Yeah. So like recently I did this, and this wasn't the smartest because I was kind of dead by the time I got to my place. I did not want to make multiple trips. It was about to rain. So, and it would have meant going back out in all that humidity. So I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So in one trip, I brought up 2 cases of water, a 6-pack of toilet paper, and 4 bags of groceries. And opened all the doors myself, hit the elevator buttons myself. No one there to help me. I think that's pretty good.
You got to get one of those little old lady like grocery wheelie things.
Yeah, the problem with those is the cases of water.
Yeah, true. The cart. There comes with the cart. Yeah. Yeah. That's an accomplishment, man.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what's your skill? Pack mule. Okay.
Lugging shit. Yes. Good job. Hey, that's impressive. Way to go. All right, let's ask the fats and then wrap this up.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
All right, I have a long email to start with. And if you want to email
War
us,
and Peace.
Yes, it is imfatpod@gmail.com. But this is so well written that I feel the urge to read it. It's from signed a fat suburban dad who doesn't mind living in a flat place. More context coming. Greetings, fellow fats. First, congrats on 200 episodes. I heard you guys use the term scene, and that's it. So many times I find myself talking right back at the podcast because everything is so damn relatable, but I wish to do more than offer my bouquets. I wish to tell a tale of a place that is both fat heaven and fat hell. A place of delights for the eyes and for the stomach, Italy. Of course, you recognize its distinctive boot shape from all the delicious pizza maps, and on our travels, we discovered much more of the pizza envelope and ate lots of pizza. Italy is fat heaven. My friends, to Italy's great shame, they have not heard of an Italian beef. Nevertheless, I ate pizza. I ate pasta. I ate lasagna. bread, meats, cheeses, olives, sfogliatelli. Rick, any help on that one?
No.
Sfogliatelle. Sfogliatel? I don't know.
Careful.
Gelato. So much gelato. Even schnitzel and apple strudel. I drank wine. I drank beer. I consumed like a warrior glutton. There are no bad words in Italy. Or are there? Italy is fat hell. Italy is a beautiful country filled with history, natural beauty, friendly people, and humidity. It was never dry, ever. Also, Italy isn't flat anywhere. Steps, hills, inclines. The dread of walking downhill, knowing before long I would be wheezing my way back up. And I mentioned the almost in Austria part of Italy. It's gorgeous. The Dolomites, the Italian Alps, is a special place. And there seem to be major fat hacks, namely cable cars to take the climbing of the mountain out of the picture, buy a ticket, get whisked to the top of the mountain after getting over the, is this going to hold my big ass fears? And what's at the top of the mountain? Restaurants. They call them hutes or refugios, and they're full of food and booze. But you know what else is on top of these mountains? More climbing. What looked like a fat hack turned out to be a rigorous exercise delivery system, like an escalator that drops you off at the beginning of several swallow cliffs. But my friends,
I think I went to college with that guy.
Swallow cliffs.
Yeah.
But my friends, the seventh circle of fat hell came on the beautiful Amalfi Coast. There we found all the sea a man in a shirt cared to swim in, and stairs. So many stairs. And after a tired day of climbing stairs, I approached the bed of our Airbnb, which came with a beautiful view. But these postcard towns that seem to go endlessly uphill from the sea aren't near a value city or an IKEA. The furniture is sort of garage sale chic. On that first night, I was retiring to bed. I put on the required fat guy accessory, my CPAP mask, and laid down for a night of rest. As I attempted to adjust my position on the comically hard mattress, it happened. With a loud crthunk, the spindly little leg of the bed exploded. It was the orca, and I was Jaws, reducing it to splinters. I'm quite certain we need a bigger bed. My mind jolted from light slumber, raced, both confused and yet quite certain of exactly what had happened. After a lifetime of avoiding wicker and rattan furniture, of testing and swapping out suspect chairs and stools in bars and restaurants, or buying the industrial strength soccer chairs and standing rather than being the last person to ever sit on a structurally unsound chair or bench, I done it. I broke a significant piece of furniture.
Nice.
My wife barely woke up, sleepily asking what happened and then returning immediately to her dreams on the slightly angled side of the bed. In the meantime, I was left to sleep with my head a solid foot above my feet, and the entire girth gradually oozing towards the floor as the night went on, fearing at any moment an aftershock that would take another leg. The management of the Airbnb took it in stride. The next day, a carpenter arrived and replaced the offending leg along with the others. He even added some bonus legs for support. He could see that he was what he was up against, and this old world artisan answered the call. Anyway, I've seen some things, but I'm here to talk about it. Thanks for indulging my tales of fat triumph and or fat woe. Also, jokes about the CPAP aside, fellow fats, ask your wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, whatever, if you stop breathing in your sleep and get that checked out. Sleep apnea is no joke and will kill you, the more you know. Again, great podcast. Also, Italy is definitely worth visiting despite the various fat pitfalls or fat falls. That is from a fat suburban dad who doesn't mind living in a flat place.
That is from Stonecutter.
Hey,
that's an inside joke.
It is well written, and I liked it. Thank you very much.
100%. You know what my immediate thought is after hearing that?
I'm never going to Italy.
This is the bad place.
Yes.
It seems like it's fantastic. And then the other shoe drops.
Yes. Spoiler alert, it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, can you tackle the second one?
I think I can handle the second one. That was awesome. Like
was
for as much as we gave that crap for being a long email, that was really well done. And like that's the essence.
Yes, thank you.
That's what we're looking for.
Very good.
All right. This is from Bob in the Yucca Valley. The Yucca Valley. I just put a "the" in there. I need to go to bed. Bab in Yucca Valley, California. Guys, I turned on to these Fruit Loops jumbo snacks a few months ago. I mentioned them last week. They are readily available at Stater Brothers Markets, a quality supermarket chain in Southern California. Keep up the good work and satisfying podcast entertainment.
All right.
That's the type of contextual info that we need, because we don't make it out to California very often. For me, if ever, basically. So to have fats across the country checking in and giving us that type of stuff for other fats that are living in different parts of the country, thank you.
Yeah. So there you go. Stater Brothers Markets have Fruit Loops jumbo snacks. The more you know.
Yep.
All right. I think we did it.
Okay. We did. I think we even came into this one being like, yeah, I think we have some stuff. Are we going to need some more stuff? Yeah, maybe. And then, oh, look, an hour, 15 minutes later, here we are, like as we always do.
The email saved us.
The joy of it. It really did. All right. Follow us on all of our social media platforms at I'm Fat Pod. I'm fatpod at gmail.com. Check out the Patreon, Spotify as well if you like. I'm fatmerch.com. The t-shirts are selling. Get yourself a tie-dye t-shirt. Doesn't matter which design you want. Just get it with tie-dye and it immediately makes it better. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast to subscribe and then like each video. Even if you're not watching each video, just like them. Helps us boost the numbers a little bit. And speaking of boosting numbers, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to the regular podcast feed. Let's juke those numbers and leave us the old 5-star review. That would be huge for helping us in moving up the rankings. And really the best thing you can do, check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nik and Ivy Brewing. So for Jay, I'm Rick. This is the I'm Fat Podcast.
Mustard's acid yellow dressing. Relish, verdant, green, so vibrant. Onions, tomatoes, cucumbers cut into vegetables refinement.